Hello and welcome to New Mindset Podcast. This is Georgia.
And this is Jacob.
How are you going, Jacob?
Look, everyone, I'm going to be honest here, all right? Normally, sorry, that just Georgia coughing her guts
Apologies.
up is just paramount to how this intro is going to be. Normally,
Third time's a charm.
Georgia.
Sorry.
All right, everyone. I'm struggling today, all right? What is it? What have we done? We've tried this podcast 3 times. Our puppy's been barking. If it wasn't him, it was Georgia wasn't feeling it. So we had to
Change topics.
Jump from your topic to my topic so I can sort of fill in the gaps information-wise. But I'm really keen for this topic. I am relating to this topic real heavy right now. Exposure therapy. I've been doing it for 3 to 4 weeks, as I've said 3 times in the last 5 minutes without intros. But I am genuinely exhausted. I am straight up exhausted. Exposure therapy is, it doesn't sound scary. Well, it does if you've got anxiety. It's just like, you're constantly going in a battle. That's what your body thinks, and it's gearing up for. This morning I went out for a juice and a coffee with your cousin, which was awesome. The cafe was really cool. The cafe was packed, and the drive was hectic because it was like in the city and somewhere I haven't been. So anxiety was at pretty high.
All-time high.
But yeah, coming down from it now and just tired. And the thing is, with exposure therapy, sleep isn't going to fix it because I'm fatigued, I'm not sleepy. If that makes sense.
Like sleep deprived.
Anyone that with anxiety or, any mental condition that's overcome things or is currently trying to overcome things can empathise with that, I reckon. But that's me, just being honest. I reckon I'm going to give myself a 3 out of 10.
Yep.
But we're going to do this episode because it's important and we want to do it. How are you going?
Oh, that was such a good segue into our topic.
Yeah. No, that's all right. How are you going, though?
Yeah, I'm okay. All right.
You're coming off the flu?
Yeah. I was probably, 3 earlier this week. Had proper head was really congested, had a lot of chest pain, had the actual chills and sweats. I hadn't really had that in a while, so I had that properly. And it was hideous. I hated it. So feeling a lot better now. Just kind of like a stuffy nose and a sore throat now.
Yeah.
So kind of getting at the end of it. Thank you, Betadine and Cold and Flu. Not sponsors, but I wish they did. Yeah, anyway.
I don't wish they did.
No?
No.
Oh.
No.
They're great.
No.
Anyway, we're at the point of delirium. Delulu has hit, but it will not derail this topic, which you would like to discuss. Exposure therapy. That's why you said that the topic today is really near and dear to your heart because you've been doing that over the past few weeks.
Yep.
And you kind of pose this question, is exposure therapy necessary? That's our big kind of topic of focus. But let's backtrack as we always do and just define what an anxiety disorder is and how that relates to exposure therapy.
Yep. I'll define it for you. I will.
Thank
do that.
you so
That's
much.
all right. I can do
Jacob knew.
So it is. So essentially, an anxiety disorder is typically characterized by feeling intense worry and fear that are strong enough to interfere with our daily lives. I've always said everyone has anxiety. It's a normal emotion, but an anxiety disorder and a normal anxiety emotion are different, as we know now. And exposure therapy is so essentially exposure therapy is a technique in behavior therapy to treat anxiety disorders. Essentially, it just involves exposing ourselves to the anxiety source or its context. So mine could be social anxiety, for instance, and that was me today at the cafe. So I'm beating social anxiety. But for me, I'll give my example today was somatic disorder. So somatic anxiety. So, that feeling in the bowels that I've discussed on other podcasts where it tenses and, they feel the need to rush to the toilet. Essentially, I'm rewiring that part in my body to be like, no, it's okay. We're all good. So that's that. And in doing that, it's essentially there to help overcome the anxiety or distress. Yeah. And I put in a little thing here, elevator story. So I remember listening or reading, it might have been reading a book. So someone was terrified of elevators, like using the using an elevator, and the actual therapist. So this is like a true story. So they started off with discussing elevators, and because elevators are scary if you are scared of them. Like if you plummet, you're dead.
Yeah.
And
And
they
you're
may
in
have had a bad
confined space.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
They may have had a real bad experience. So it sounds ridiculous, but a lot of things with anxiety do sound ridiculous. Not gonna lie, but they're not. But yeah, they started off discussing about the elevator, the mechanics of an elevator, the statistics of an elevator, how many people go in, and then they would move. That was 1 week, and then the next week they would move to a picture of an elevator, and then the following week it was someone going into the elevator on a video. And then the next week they go to a shopping centre, and then you see an elevator in the distance, and then you can sort of get to the point where they're actually using the button to go up, they're just pressing the button of the elevator. And the end of the story essentially is that they became brave enough and basically rewired that stressful context in their brain to be, where this is actually a safe environment. I had it mistaken.
Yeah.
And my anxiety was wrong, which is fine, but it was wrong. So I'm okay to do this. And it just makes you a little bit braver. That's what I'm sort of overcoming now.
Yeah, well, that's probably why it's useful.
Yeah, and it's bloody exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. Like you're going into what you think is certain death after event after event after event, but you got to do it. Otherwise, you would never do it.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah. So I guess how could someone implement that type of exposure therapy into their daily lives? Do you have to have that psychologist to step you through stage by stage of the exposure journey, or could someone do it themselves?
It's a good question because I always like to say, if it's serious enough for you to be doing this, then you should probably seek help, whether that be counselling or, social worker or psychologist, psychiatrist, GP.
It also probably depends on the fear too, because snakes, for example, it's not like you can be like, oh yeah, let me just hire a snake for a day and hold a snake randomly.
Yeah.
That can't really happen.
But just with, we'll just stick to anxiety. And, if it is serious enough, then you should go and see someone. That's definitely what I did. And then I sort of built the tools around that to be able to implement these things myself in future, which I'm now doing so. But I suppose, I know seeing someone, especially during COVID, you had to wait 6 to 12 months to 2 years.
Crazy.
So, this can't hurt if you were looking after yourself. And this builds your relationship with anxiety, as we always speak about. So essentially the first step would be, give it your best shot, but try to find and listen to yourself and find that source of anxiety or that stress in you, like what's causing it. Like why am I now stressed of driving? Why am I now stressed about going to work? Well, let's figure this out and not just be stressed and anxious. And like I said, building that relationship and learning, this is the big one that I personally love to do. So I know that I'm going to be exhausted after exposure therapy. So you want to negotiate with yourself, with your anxiety. I should say not with yourself, with your anxiety. So I'm going to go to the shops today. I'm going to do the groceries. But tonight, I'm going to have ice cream and I'm going to watch my favourite show or movie. And I'm going to do that because I've earned that. And because you've made that promise to yourself, you have to follow through with it because anxiety is smart and it won't let it slide next time when you try to use that negotiation. It'll go, nah. You didn't do it for me last time. You're not going to do it today. I'm going to play up.
Yeah.
So be careful of that. And just create manageable expectations, I reckon. I'll give you an example with mine. So I during COVID, I built up that fear of just normal socialization. So I haven't gone to the shopping center in that long. I normally just do, click and collect. So you order online and then you show up to the shops and it's already there. But over the last 4 weeks, I've been, physically going into the store and purchasing items, which has been awesome. But I created the manageable win. So I would start off with getting one item. For instance, mine was prawns. I love prawns. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go do that. That's my negotiation. And that's my little win. So awesome, I've done that. And then the following week, it was 2 or 3 items. And then, the other day, we went in and I got you all your supplies while you were sick.
Well, I was sick, so you just went in by yourself.
Yeah, and that was a massive win. But if I was to set too big of a task too early, I could have fallen through on that for instance. So I could have had a panic attack in the store because I pushed myself too far, and now I've set myself back. So it's a fine art of, creating. It's like stretching. This is a good analogy. So with stretching, you hamstring, you want to stretch it enough where it's a good stretch and it's actually releasing the tension. But if you go too far, you're going to snap your hamstring, and then you're going to have 2 months recovery. So I suppose the moral of that is find that nice point of this is okay. I can do this. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I think maybe there is a part in there that's don't be ashamed of the way that you need to stretch to start with.
Yep.
Be okay with starting at the level that you need to for that instance.
Yeah, definitely. You don't be ashamed, because if that's how you're going to be, you're just going to beat yourself up, and your anxiety's already doing that for you. So you don't need to jump on the back and help it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Do you have? Well, I mean, you've already shared a few experiences. Do you have any more that you want to share?
I spoke about the somatic sort of thing just before. So putting myself in those places where there is a bathroom and I'm safe, but then sort of pushing that boundary and saying, you know what, I'm going to go and do this on my own. I'll just use today for an example. It's such a good example. I was, I haven't driven to this place before, and I'm an anxious driver at the best of times, and I'm so exhausted right now because of the exposure. So it was already high. Like when I'm tired, I'm normally even more anxious. But I negotiated today, so I'm going to go and do this breakfast today. I'm going to drive there because your cousin, he and I get on really well, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to enjoy it. And then tonight I'm going to chill out and watch The Office, and I'm going to have, I love Vegemite toast at the moment. It's just my thing. OCD's latched on, so I'm going to have some Vegemite toast tonight. You and I are just going to chill, do some planning, and then I'm going to, sit on the couch and just pig out on Vegemite toast and watch The Office, and that's my negotiation.
Yeah.
So I was able to get through that, and my brain was supportive, and my anxiety was supportive of the fact that you're going to get. Basically, your brain loves a path of least resistance.
Yeah.
So we're going to push you right now, but tonight we're going to chill. Yeah. So that was my example. But then exposure therapy, I was first introduced to this by my psychologist when I was 9 or 10. And my anxiety was really hit around school. My anxiety wasn't caused by school, but school was impacted by my anxiety. And my psychologist we discussed school first, obviously. And then it was really cool. Like in the mornings, I would wake up, get in school uniform, and then stay in that for the day at home. And that was enough to be like, that was scary enough, because it's your brain's getting all these signals like, this uniform is scary, this school's scary, I'm now scared. And it's like, okay, nothing happened all day. I'm good. And then, we would drive past the school. And then the next week we would drive to the school, Mum and I, and then I'm in uniform, but it's 6 p.m. at night and there's no one there. So I'm in the environment, I'm safe, nothing's happened. And my brain's like, okay, this is all right. The anxiety is sort of adjusting to the fact that this place could be safe. And then, it takes heaps of effort, heaps of time, and then eventually, I'd do a half a day for a few weeks. And then, you get to the full day, and then, you go one day on, one day off, and then eventually you're in the swing of things again. So it's technical, it's a process, but they were little manageable wins. You've definitely got to set those wins, and it sort of goes back to that 8 out of 10 rule that I discussed a few episodes ago, where you don't want to push your anxiety past what is an 8 out of 10 in that moment, because you've abused your anxiety in your relationship with anxiety, and you could bring on a panic attack there, and a panic attack isn't a badge of honor. It's in that moment you failed to realize your boundary, essentially. And when I say 8 out of 10, that doesn't mean what you're comfortable with. It means, push yourself. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to suck. It sucks. But it's the only way to get through it. It's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. But it's not too much where you're just not treating yourself right. You know what I mean? You're finding that fine line between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
So you got to be really patient and really, you just got to really think that through, because there's definitely a fine line between not pushing yourself and then pushing yourself too hard, and neither of those are good. So find that sweet spot. That only takes practice.
Yeah. I guess it's like what you said with stretching.
Yeah.
You know, it takes time for you to get to that point where it's comfortable. But is it ever really comfortable, I guess?
Yeah, well, I've had 15 years of anxiety experience, I'd say, and then studies, obviously, and then personal experiences. And my mum had it, and her majority of her family have it. So I'm I feel as though I'm equipped now to set myself up with exposure therapy. But if you're just starting your anxiety sort of journey, well, maybe see a professional. Yeah. Yep.
Do you think that exposure therapy is for anyone that has anxiety?
Yeah. The only person I wouldn't say it was for would, like I just said, for someone that's new to anxiety or don't feel as though they're properly equipped. So they're different. Like agoraphobia is really serious. That's obviously the fear of not wanting to leave the house and the environment you're in. So that's a very serious case where, exposure therapy is going to be really tough for you to integrate into your own life. So most likely you're going to need professional support, which you should seek. And then they can sort of assist you through that journey. But for anyone else that's, got anxiety, just a normal emotion, you don't have an anxiety disorder, but you could have been, you've had panic attacks and you've had anxiety.
Yeah.
Someone like you, but someone with a real serious anxiety disorder that's, obviously what you're doing now isn't working for you. Go and see someone because, don't be stupid and naive. Like if I was...
And think that you can do it yourself.
Yeah, like that was me. I was being naive and stupid and I was trying to do it myself and then nothing was working and I was actually getting worse because I wasn't respecting the boundary.
Yeah.
So I went and saw my psychologist again. We sort of got back on track and now I'm sweet.
Yeah.
I can do it myself again.
You kind of need that reset from the professional.
Yeah.
To be able to get you on the right track as opposed to trying to find where the start of that track is yourself.
Yeah, I know, seeing a professional is expensive, but, it's just it's 100% worth it.
Yeah.
Because it only took me 2 or 3 sessions to just click back in a gear.
Yeah.
And now I can look after myself again.
Yeah.
Just... Exposure therapy is, it's not meant to be easy, so I don't think it's going to be easy. It's not meant to be, it's like, another analogy is like working out. You're not supposed to lift the easy weights to gain muscle.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, push yourself, but don't push yourself too hard where you're tearing a bicep.
Yeah.
Or doing permanent injury to your back.
Yeah.
Just do it just enough where it's just a bit challenging. Just challenging enough where, you're going to progress and grow.
Yeah.
And not hurt yourself, but it's not too challenging and... You're not doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. The thing that I would kind of share there in terms of someone, who doesn't have an anxiety disorder or major concern but does have that feeling of anxiety every now and then.
Yep.
Mine would be around having tough conversations or kind of communicating expectations or boundaries, especially in the role that I've been progressed to in the past 6 months. So, talking to you about, okay, you're going to be the person that I need to have the tough conversation with and doing a role play or, sharing what your answers would be or having that kind of draft conversation with yourself in the mirror. That could be that little step of exposure in a space or an instance where having tough conversations is the thing that's causing that anxiety.
Yeah.
Would you say that would be an example?
Yeah, definitely. It was a stressful situation for you that you've practiced. Essentially, it's just practicing to get you to,
do the thing in real life.
And then basically when you've conquered that stressor or that anxious environment, then, typically it's a lot easier the next time. And then you do it again and then again. And then, like exposure therapy is not a one and done.
One size fits all.
Yeah.
Either.
Well, when I say one and done, just because I conquered going to the shopping centre doesn't mean that I'm sweet now. Now I've got to do it next week again.
Yeah.
And the week after and the week after.
Yeah.
And it's going to suck. But in 2 months, it's going to feel like, you look back when you've had bad anxiety and you look back and it's like, I can't believe I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
It just feels so stupid and silly to say. But, in that moment, that was the big thing.
Yeah.
The big stressor.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It is cool.
Do you have anything else that you want to kind of share there?
No.
On exposure therapy?
I don't think so. It's like, just search it up and have a look because it is cool. Like, I would use this for anyone. well, for the majority coming with anxiety because it's the thing that I've seen that's really helped others and myself. But yeah, just have a look and, give it a go yourself first. And if it's not working, go and see a professional because, it just may not be for you. Essentially, it's just meant to make you braver. But, some people you can't, like I was there. You just can't get to that level,
Yeah.
Or for instance, you and I were supposed to go on a trip, like a conference, and it was all paid for and everything like that. But I couldn't go. I had to pull out because I didn't use exposure therapy for the months leading in. I was slack, and it sort of hit me. And that's just an example of I should have seen a professional and got their opinion. But I pushed my anxiety too far, and then I failed to go because I set a unrealistic expectation, and that sort of hurt me. That took me back probably a month of progress. So it's that sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it totally does.
Good.
I like that.
Nice.
Well, thank you for being open and sharing.
That's okay.
I appreciate it.
That's all right. I'm feeling a bit better now. I'm just looking forward to that toast.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That toast in the office.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen The Office, the US version.
Oh, get in there.
It is good. Michael
good.
Scott
Yeah.
and Dwight, the best. And Jim. Jim's pretty good.
Yeah. I have my checkout question.
Oh, yeah?
If you're ready for it.
What is it?
I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
I hope you'll like it. If you could be a part of a big musical number, what would it be? It's a good one. It's a good one.
I don't want to be a part of any bloody musical.
What do you mean? You love musical spectacles.
I don't love it. I
Okay.
can appreciate
you
it.
appreciate and enjoy it.
No, I don't enjoy it. I can appreciate it.
Okay, you appreciate it.
Well,
Okay.
you and I have only been to 2, High School Musical and Aladdin.
No, but even ones that you've seen.
Yeah, those
High
two
School
I've seen.
Musical?
No,
You've not
sorry.
seen High School
No,
Musical?
not High School Musical.
Matilda.
No. What was the
School
one?
of Rock.
Yeah, School of Rock.
Yeah. I mean, like even ones that you've seen on TV.
I've never seen a musical on TV.
Greatest Showman.
Oh, okay, that does count as music. I do love
And the other
Greatest
one
Showman.
is Star is Born.
And Grease.
And Grease. All of them. If you could be a part of one of those numbers.
Part of one, like a number being just like one of the
song.
dances or songs.
A song and dance. If you could be in it. Learn the dance, know the choreo.
Yeah, I reckon Greatest Showman, the From Now On. Oh, no. Greatest Showman, the bar scene with he and Zac Efron. I don't know what it's
I don't know
called.
what it's called.
But the bar scene was really cool. I really appreciated just the timing of that all. Now it's on your mind. You can't figure it out.
I can't remember it. Oh, anyway.
What about you?
I would have to say my favourite would be... I don't know. And that was the one that came up with the question.
No. You had time to think about this.
I actually think one of the coolest numbers that I've seen in person
Yep.
was the Revolting Children, the Matilda musical that was in Brisbane, the Revolting Children song. And they stacked up the letters and they climbed up this cage. How they stacked the alphabet blocks because Matilda, was set in a schoolyard. It was really imaginative and really cool. So if I could have been a kid and been 12 years old and did that, that would have been really awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Well, we'll have to educate them.
I know the Revolting Children song, though, because you played it for ages and it got stuck in my head. No.
Revolting children living in revolting times. Anyway. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Hope you guys got something out of it.
Yeah, if you didn't, well, yeah, shouldn't have listened.
We can find something in there.
Yeah, no, there's definitely something that if anyone...
There's good little nuggets.
If you're a parent that has a child with anxiety or if you have anxiety yourself, then there definitely would have been something there.
Yeah.
Or if you're just learning anxiety.
Let us know. Find us on all of the socials that are in our show notes.
All of the socials.
Let us reach out to us on Insta. Let us know what you learned.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Take care. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.